didn't even get to cross.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Austin from Dragon Ball Duo, and today I'm going to be telling you what the weakest form of Buu is all the way up to the strongest form of Buu is, because I know there's a lot of misconceptions in the community. I just want to clear that up for those of you watching this video. And yeah, so let's get into this. So the weakest form of Buu we have is Mr. Buu. Mr. Buu is Buu after he has been taken out of Super Buu. Basically, he is the nice Buu that is friends with Mr. Satan, and that's in Dragon Ball Super and everything. So he's actually weaker than the fat Buu that you see in the very beginning of the Majin Buu saga, because obviously he doesn't have all of Buu in Buu, because they were separated into two separate beings. The next strongest form of Buu is Fat Buu, as I mentioned earlier. Fat Buu is about twice as strong as Mr. Buu, and he's the one that you see that Babidi resurrects at the very beginning of the Buu saga. Everyone knows him, everyone loves him. Let's go on to the next one. Evil Buu is basically an incomplete form of Kid Buu. He is all evil, but he still has trace amounts of the other people that Buu had absorbed, and he's also kind of drained because he just split himself in half and separated himself. So he hadn't gone through the full metamorphosis to gain all of his original power back. He's kind of a hollow shell of what he used to be, so that's why he's not as powerful as Kid Buu, Super Buu, and we'll get onto those in a little bit. The next form is Kid Buu, and this is where it gets more confusing and more controversial within the community, because a lot of people think that Kid Buu is the most powerful form of Buu, but honestly that's just not the case. A lot of this arises from when Goku and Vegeta say that Buu's power is rising whenever he's transforming between Super Buu into Kid Buu. Well, in between those two transformations, you get to see a glimpse at Buff Buu. Now, I'll get more into Buff Buu in a little bit, but basically Super Buu's power was rising and turning into Buff Buu, and that's when they say that line. And then Buff Buu turned into Kid Buu, his original form, and then at that point Goku and Vegeta decided, oh, we can handle this, he's not as strong as he used to be. And that's where a lot of the confusion arises. Now, as I mentioned before, I think that Super Buu is actually weaker than Buff Buu, and that's why I'm putting Super Buu next in this list, just because that whole line about his power growing. Now, it is possible that Super Buu was weak because they did just kind of tear a whole bunch of people out of his body, and he could have been drained from power, but honestly, I think that Super Buu is weaker than Buff Buu, but in overall speed and combat, I believe that Super Buu is better. Super Buu is the form of Buu that was created after Evil Buu ate Fat Buu back into him. And basically, he took all of his power back that Fat Buu had kind of stripped away from him, or Mr. Buu, because he's like the good side, and then absorbed that back into his system, but instead of them just becoming Fat Buu again and kind of having a balance of good and evil, Super Buu was all of the evil of Evil Buu, but with the power of Fat Buu mixed in. Up next in raw power, we have Buff Buu. Buff Buu, as I mentioned before, is the form of Buu after he absorbed multiple of the Kais, especially South Kai, South Supreme Kai. He had absorbed the fat, kind of lovable Kai. He has a name that is escaping me right now. And he was the kind of the leader of them all, and that's what made Buu weaker and more soft-hearted. And then he absorbed the Supreme Kai of the South, and he became a lot buffer, a lot stronger, but I still think that he lacks in speed. The next form of Buu is Buiccolo. Buiccolo is kind of the fan name of Buu with Piccolo absorbed. It isn't just Piccolo absorbed, it's actually Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks, but Goten and Trunks had unfused, so the dominant personality, the most powerful person in Buu's body at the time, was Piccolo, so he took on the traits of Piccolo. Continuing on, the next strongest form of Buu is Buanks, or Buu with Gotenks absorbed. So this was right before he became Buiccolo. He had absorbed Goten and Trunks fused together, which was Gotenks, and he became a lot taller. He had the outfit on that you get from doing the fusion dance and everything. So yes, he was a lot powerful than pretty much anyone at the time until Gohan arrived, and they were kind of evenly matched, and that's when we get into our last and most powerful form of Buu, which is Buhan. Buhan is by far the most powerful form of Buu, and pretty much everyone should agree on that, because not only does he have Piccolo absorbed, Goten and Trunks absorbed, but he also has Ultimate Gohan absorbed, and Ultimate Gohan himself is about as strong as Gotenks. So if that says anything, you can obviously see how powerful Buhan is. The only person in the show that seemed to be more powerful than Buhan was Vegito, and I guess hypothetically you could say Gogeta, but even though that never actually happened in the manga, or, you know, for that matter. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this cleared up a lot of the confusion some of you people had, and even for those of you that already knew what I was going to say and stuck around this long into the video, thank you, my heart goes out to you. If you do me a favor, just subscribe to the channel if you want to see more what's going on. We got more Dokkan, more Icy Katadas, and definitely more Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, yada yada yada. Topics coming up in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Later.